If your business can't run without you, you don't own a business, you own a job, and probably the hardest, lowest paying job you've ever had. But that's a truth that many small business owners quietly live. The thing we thought would bring us freedom ends up taking more from us than we ever imagined. Today, I want to help you make that shift to show you how to step back and into control and build something that works without it draining you. My name is Shai Babatunde. I'm the founder of Ken Blue. And if this resonates with you, do me a favor, hit the like button, comment, share, and please subscribe so you don't meet future videos like this. Now, let's get into it. Most of us didn't go into business thinking we'd do longer hours than before. We had the dream that with time we'd be doing less. And I know we hear about it online, all these gurus talking about how you get no sleep, no breaks, no rest. But let's be honest, we thought that might be for a period, not forever. We thought the late nights and hustle at the beginning would all pay off, that the business would grow, the team would grow, and eventually we'd find a space to breathe. More freedom, more balance, and maybe even a chance to step away and see how things are done when we're not there. But that's not usually how it happens. The reality is, business grows, and instead of you stepping back, it pulls you even deeper in. New clients arrive, and suddenly, you're not just delivering, you're managing. A new team starts to form, but instead of freeing you, it adds more weight because everything circles back to you. Decisions, approvals, fixing problems, it all just lands on your plate. And the bigger the business gets, the more you're needed. Or so it seems. It's as if every bit of growth just adds another string that's tied to you and pulling you in 100 directions. Slowly, without noticing, your joy starts to fade. I see this every day. The thing you once loved, the thing you once built with excitement, starts to feel like a burden you can't shake off. But I'm now gonna say the quiet part out loud, the part that we don't wanna talk about. The things we don't say to our clients or our team, not even to our family sometimes. Because on the outside, we look successful. People see you working and running the show and assume, yeah, you got everything covered. But behind closed doors, we're exhausted. Like, I don't think people get it. Most of us entrepreneurs are exhausted. You're carrying this whole thing on your back. And let's be honest, we just want to put it down. We just want to give up. But there's no one we feel like we can admit that to. I mean, come on, after all the sacrifices everyone's made to get us here. But here's what I want you to hear. It doesn't have to stay like this. I'll say it again. It doesn't have to stay like this. You don't have to keep pushing till you burn out. And honestly, that way is what this video is about. By the end of this video, hopefully you see a path forward. That's not about just giving up, but finding a different way to work and move forward effectively. The thing is, the way out isn't luck. It's about building your business differently with clear strategy, systems, and a team. This is what makes it possible to step back without everything falling apart. And that is exactly what I want to break down to you today using our growth blueprint. So let's start with the first part of our blueprint, deliver. This is the foundation, but here's the truth. If you can't deliver your service consistently at a high standard without being the only one holding everything together, you would never be able to step back. Growth would only be heavier. And let's be honest, that's what a lot of us are feeling already. There are 3 parts to getting delivery right: branded delivery, systemized delivery, and delivery personnel. Branded delivery is about creating your own model about how your services are delivered. Think of it as your business's playbook. Too many service-based businesses just do the work for the client without ever packaging it into a framework they can repeat. The problem with this is it makes you the glue, which means the clients are buying into you rather than your method. When you build a branded model, it becomes the way things are done in your business, regardless of who's delivering, and that's the win. For example, if you're a marketing consultant, instead of saying, I'll help you with your social media, you create a step-by-step process to do that. It's branded, it's structured, and it's repeatable. It becomes your signature approach, and it makes scaling possible because anyone in your team can follow it without losing quality, which is really key. The second part is systemized delivery. This is where we take that model and create a system around it to make sure it runs smoothly. And here's where tools like our platform Code Blue shine, because it helps service-based businesses use automations and AI to get things done that doesn't require a human every time. For example, client onboarding. You don't need to manually send the same forms and emails and documents every single time. Code Blue can handle that automatically. Or let's say you're running a coaching business and you need to remind people about sessions. You've got a system in place that automatically reminds everybody, gives them the new link for the new session so that everybody shows up without you having to remember who to invite. Client check-ins are done, feedback forms are sorted out. All of this is automated and set up so that nothing falls through the crack, and it gives an excellent experience for your customers. Systemizing delivery means you're not reinventing the wheel every time. Your processes, your workflows, your frameworks, your automations do the heavy lifting each time. So your clients get consistent, high quality customer experience without draining any of your time. And because you get to focus on the stuff that you're passionate about, you show up as best as you can because you don't have to do all the little admin things that you don't really want to think about. And then we have delivery personnel, which is simply about people. At some point, as you grow, you can't do everything yourself. And please, you shouldn't even try. Some of you are there already. You're completely burnt out because you're doing all these things by yourself. You need to outsource, hire, or train a team to be in place to be able to deliver the level that you need to deliver. In fact, they need to be able to deliver even better. This is often the hardest shift for most founders because it means letting go of control. But if your business only works when you do the work, you've built yourself into a corner. With the right processes, clear training, and trust in your team, you can free yourself to focus on growth while delivery runs at the same or even better standard. So to sum it up, branded delivery gives you a signature way of working. Systemized delivery makes it smooth and consistent, and delivery personnel ensure you don't carry it all on your shoulders. If you get these three right, you've built the first layer of freedom. You've created a delivery machine that doesn't collapse the moment you step away. The next part of the growth blueprint is sell. Now, when we talk about selling, I don't mean running around chasing people for money or throwing money at ads just hoping something sticks. Selling done properly is about a simple, repeatable system that brings in the right clients consistently without having to grind every time you want to get a deal. You know, I like my three, so it comes in three parts: building authority, generating leads, and creating a funnel process that closes. So let's start with building authority. In the world today, people don't just buy services. They buy into people. They buy trust. And trust comes from a position of positioning yourself as authority or somebody who cares. You don't need to be everywhere, but you need to be visible in the right places. For example, one of our clients runs a coaching practice. She doesn't try to dominate every platform. She picked LinkedIn as her main channel, and that's where she consistently shares her value. Not polished adverts, but just real insights that her audience finds useful. Over time, her audience began to see her as a go-to person in her space. That's authority. Community is doing the same thing, but not just focusing on what you know in terms of value and wisdom, but care, understanding the needs of your target audience and communicating that in your content. That's what also builds community. The second part is lead generation. Once people find you credible, you need to find a way to make them put their hand up and say, look, I'm interested in working with you. Again, that's where systems like Cold Blue make your life easier. You can set up landing pages, forms, automations that capture interest while you're asleep based on the lead generation methods you're using. Whether it's a free resource, a webinar, or just a single contact form, the goal is to use a particular method, paid ads, cold calling, to create a steady stream of people coming into your world. Think of it as turning on taps. You might use referrals, networking, paid ads, or organic content. But however you do it, the point is having leads come in consistently, not sporadically. And then comes the third part, the sales funnel and closing. A funnel is simply the journey somebody takes from when they find out about you to when they've paid for a service. Too often, business only focus on lead generation, the starting point, generating interest, but then leave people hanging. With a clear, clean funnel, you nurture that interest. Maybe they get automated emails with helpful insight. Maybe they're invited to book a call for your Cold Blue scheduling tools. Maybe they receive reminders and case studies that build trust. All this is useful because when it's time to make a decision, closing becomes natural, simply because they already know that you care and trust the value you're going to bring. Here's the key thing. When it's done right, sales doesn't depend entirely on you showing up every single day. You've built in a process that does the heavy lifting. This means while you're on holiday or focusing on strategy or even just taking a step back, leads are coming in, deals are being closed. So in short, build authority so people trust you. Set up systems to generate leads consistently and create a funnel that closes smoothly. This is how you sell without stress, without too much hustle, and without being chained to your business. And once sell and deliver are in place, you're ready for the final piece of the puzzle, build. Build is interesting. This is the part that a lot of business owners skip completely, and this is why they stay stuck. Build is about building a framework around your business so it can grow without collapsing on itself. It's not glamorous work, but it makes a difference between having a business that feels heavy and having a business that feels light. As usual, there are three parts to build: client management, team management, and business development. Let's start with client management. Delivering your service is one thing, but creating an elite client experience is a complete other. It's the difference between someone saying, yeah, they did the job, versus working with them was amazing. Client management is about making the journey smooth from the moment they sign up through to onboarding, during the actual delivery, all the way to the follow-up and retention. For example, inside Cold Blue, you can automate onboarding emails, send reminders, and even set up client portals where they can track their progress. That way, the client never feels like they're left in the dark. When you get this right, you don't just retain clients longer, they become your biggest supporters. So next, team management. If delivery is going to run without you, you need people you can rely on. That means not just hiring, but training and guiding and leading. Too many founders build teams that can't move without them, which defeats the whole point. A strong team has clarity, they know what's expected, they have the tools and the processes to do their jobs, and they feel supported, not micromanaged. That's when people take ownership and suddenly you're not the bottleneck anymore. I've seen this play out time and time and time again. The moment a business owner steps back and lets the team step up, everything starts to flow. Productivity increases, clients are happier, and finally the owner gets a bit of breathing space when done right. And last but not least, finally, business development. That's the last point in build. This is where you build the engine of your business. The policies, the systems, the automations, everything that makes it self-sustaining. Business development means putting structures in place so the business runs consistently, even if you step away. Financial systems, reporting, admin workflows, project management, all of these are what keeps the business stable and scalable. And here's the payoff. When you build this way, your business isn't just a source of income. It becomes an asset, something that becomes of real value that can even be sold one day if you want to. Exit strategy. So here's the last recap. Build is about strengthening your foundations, managing your clients well so they rave about you to everyone else, managing your team well so they take responsibility, and putting systems in place so your business doesn't have to rely on you every day. That's what allows allows you to finally move to the role of owner, not operator. We say all the time, the goal isn't to work more, it's to have a business that works for you. It takes time to create freedom, but it is something we have to be intentional about. It's something you don't just make time for, but you must invest money in. I say this all the time. Once you begin to make money in your business, you need to invest that money into it. Buy back your time. We can't keep running around on this hamster wheel of our own creation. It might sound like there's a lot to do, but it's about taking your time to do it bit by bit, one system build at a time, one team hire at a time. Then eventually you have more money to enjoy life and more time to enjoy that money. Let me know in the comments, what's the first thing you do to buy your time back? And if you're enjoying freedom from business growth, tell me what you did first to get your time back. And as usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.